Welcome, guys, to the Meet Damien live stream. Today's live stream, we're going to be doing live trading as much as we can. And I'll look at some of your requests as well in between trades here. I'm looking to get into a short on Bitcoin, mainly because, and I guess I'll tell you the story about last night, but I actually was long in Bitcoin last night at 86K. I guess I'll give you guys my story here. I do want to short Bitcoin kind of like now. I already have a little small short going on, and I might want to add to my short position here. But yeah, last night I was in Bitcoin at 86K. Let me just zoom out here. I was at about $86,500. I guess I could show you guys also on MEXC exchange where exactly it was, but I got stopped out of my my long around like 3 o'clock in the morning while I was sleeping here in the East Coast. You know, I'm from Massachusetts, so you know, it was 3 o'clock in the morning here. I had my stop loss near break even at $86,600 in that area. Bitcoin came down to 86,350, and it started creeping up while I was sleeping. It stopped me out. Then it decided to go up higher. When I woke up this morning, I was like, I'll just wait for it to come back down, and it never came back down. It actually started launching around like 8 o'clock this morning, 9 o'clock this morning. We started getting those green candles, and I was like, you know, I could have chased it, but then, you know, I could have got stopped out at some point here as well on the long if I kept my stop loss tight. And I usually do keep my stop losses relatively tight, about like $500 away from the price action, sometimes $1,000 away from where the Bitcoin price action is currently at. But anywhere between that area is where I usually keep my stop losses relatively tight. And I missed out on the move. And I'm looking for a short now here on Bitcoin. Now I think I might have got stopped out on my my current short here. Let's see how my current short's doing here. Yeah, I got stopped out of my current short on Bitcoin. Let's get into the charts here real quick here. So I tried to short Bitcoin recently here at 90,600. All right. And my stop loss was at 91,400. So we're currently hitting that right now. And right now on the 5-minute time frame, I mean, I might have to readjust my thinking. If now is not the time to short, then maybe I have to long. Okay, but I don't really like the idea of longing near the top, especially near the highs for the day. It's not really my thing. Okay. However, on the 5-minute time frame, you can see that Bitcoin on the MACD here. But selling pressure is dying down again, and we might have to go up to higher prices here one more time for Bitcoin. Okay. So yeah, let's see. Let me just take a look at this. I closed out the short. The shorts got closed. And I was trying to short early this morning. You know, I was trying to short it again here at 90,800, and then I got stopped out of my short. Okay. At like 90,900 is where I got, you know, because I bring my stop loss to break even, because I really do try to time the tops as best as I can, especially if we are topping out here. But it looks like we're not done going up yet. So it happens, you know. It happens. Sometimes you get stopped out, and then you can't really get into a long unless you really want to chase the trade. That's not really my thing, but some traders do that. I possibly could have done that earlier this morning, but I decided to just wait for the move to play out and then try to short. I'm looking for shorts now. Okay, so my shorts, I'm losing probably about like 9 or 10 bucks here on these shorts that keep getting stopped out. So I'm not really losing too much if I am wrong. Okay, but at this point, I think you know, the move has been played out. We might bullishly consolidate and then maybe do another run up. So we got to figure that out here on the charts as best as we can. Like, how far could Bitcoin go since we're getting this like nice juicy bull run that I saw coming yet last night. That's why I was in a long, and I can't believe I got stopped out. You know, And then I guess I could have re-entered the trade, but I just like, I just want to see if I get a better entry, and it never happened. And sometimes that happens here in trading. Let me check up on the chat real quick before I dig deeper into Bitcoin. Let me see what you guys have to say here. Idrias, how you doing? I see you, Idrias. You want me to look at Sahara as a request? Okay, I'll put that down. I am gonna take a look at Bitcoin first, see how far that's gonna go, and then we'll take a look at Sahara. Because I got stopped out of my short and this thing might want to go a little bit higher, I think I might have time to do the request before I try to get into another trade here. Alright. Unless, you know, if it looks like Sahara has a big move coming up, maybe I get into Sahara. Suavmart talking about Fibonacci sequencer. I'm not sure what that's all about. I see Hulk Smash is in the chat. Good morning to you. It's a good afternoon from here in the East Coast is where I'm at. And I see Kevin Hawthorne is here. He's saying good afternoon, so he must be an East Coast guy, or maybe he's one of my European guys here that comes into the live streams. Usually when I go live in the afternoon here in America. But it's like dinner time in like Europe, so I end up getting a lot of European people coming into my live streams, mainly because they speak English as well, and it's like dinner time for them. Wow, Bitcoin looking like it's going up to 92K right now. Oh man, wow wee. So yeah, let me finish up my analysis on Bitcoin. Yeah, let me get rid of the moving averages real quick here. So here on the 1 hour time frame for Bitcoin, we're currently at 91,700. One of the reasons why I wanted to get into a short this morning was obviously the move has been played out to the upside here, where we basically got back to the same price that we were trading at here on Sunday. Okay. However, if I go into the oscillators here, let me see if I can get this RSI to show up here. Okay. But we are overbought on the RSI here. If you can see that. We're at like 80 on the RSI on the 1 hour time frame. Okay, so we are clearly overbooked and overcooked. Doesn't mean that we can't stay overbought. I mean, we could continue climbing up to higher prices and stay overbought. But anytime you're above 70 on the RSI, you're overbought. And the thing that I'm worried about with Bitcoin is, you know, if we make a lower high. And it was looking like this earlier this morning, okay? Because like Bitcoin, I think, around like 11 o'clock, it was as high as 91,299. And then let's see, 91,200 around 10 a.m., okay? So it was looking like we were going to make a lower high because the highs back here. Let me see if I can show this to you guys here on TikTok. The highs back here on Sunday, we were as high as like 91,800. So we still haven't hit that yet. Except for right now, actually. We actually did hit that just now. But earlier this morning, we were not at 91,800, so we were kind of making lower highs. Let me just show this here on the chart. So we were kind of like making lower highs, or like it was kind of like down here at some point. However, we were still making higher highs here on the RSI, okay? If I can just draw that out for you real quick here. Okay. And for those who don't know, this is a divergence, and it is called hidden bearish divergence. Okay. You are making lower highs, except for now. Like now it kind of is defeating, you know, it's actually neglecting my case here. But earlier this morning, you were making a lower high here compared to what you were doing here on Sunday. On the price. However, you were making higher highs here on the RSI, which was showing that, you know, buyers are trying to push the price up, but they don't have enough momentum and power to actually push through and actually make a higher high on the price, even though they're trying their hardest and darndest to do that this morning. And that usually turns into hidden bearish divergence, which usually plays out to the downside. But you know what? Maybe that was a little bit too early to call that. Okay, even though this is on the 1 hour time frame, it's kind of like a significant time frame. It looks like the buyers are pushing through. So we're not getting hitting bearish divergence. We're actually kind of making a higher high here on the price, which kind of justifies us, you know, having a higher high here on the RSI as well. So you have now you have a higher high on the RSI, and you have a higher high here on the price. It justifies us going to higher prices. Yes, I mean, still you're overbought. I mean, at some point things need to kind of calm down and chill out. But yeah, let's zoom out here a little bit more. We'll go into the daily time frame to figure out, you know, how much higher could Bitcoin actually go. Okay, let me pull up the moving averages here. Okay, so we do have a 21 EMA here, sitting at 91K. 91K was another area for us to look for, which could provide resistance because we haven't really been able to get above this 21 EMA. However, look at this right now. This candle that we're getting right now, we're at 92. Well, we went up to 92K just now, and that puts us clearly above this 21 EMA. So there might be some hope here, guys. We might actually be seeing an actual bull run or rally, you know, relief rally, whatever you want to call it, because we're still, you know, I'm still bearish. I'm still like this rally is still, you know, it's still sus. Like, we don't know if this is gonna be an actual bull run here. We could get rejected and make a lower high at some point. And I have pointed out these red lines here are some areas where we could get rejected. Okay, based off the volume, the visual range volume profile indicator. So we'll get into that real quick. But yeah, on the daily time frame, this is good to see that we're actually getting above the 21 EMA and not treating it as resistance, because we kind of were treating it as resistance. Like, we were treating it as resistance back here November 11th. We couldn't get above it, right? And then right over here on November 28th, last Friday, we tried, but we couldn't really. Like, we came short of getting above the 21 EMA. And then here on you know, Sunday, we kind of got rejected again. And, you know, then we saw how bad Monday was. However, this is really, really nice to see, okay? So maybe I have to start looking for longs again. But it's tough because I feel like a good amount of the move has been played out this morning. And I'm really disappointed that I got stopped out earlier this morning while I was sleeping. And, you know, when I looked at the chart, I was like, I'll wait for a little bit of a pullback to get back in. And it just kept going up. All right. But anyways, just looking at the bigger picture here, I do have a line above us at 96K. 96K is an area that I think could act as resistance going forward. It's an area to look for here. Let me pull up the VRVP indicator and you'll see why if I zoom out. And I know it's going to get a little bit cluttered here on the charts here. Okay. But you do have a high volume node here. Okay. If you can see that. You do have high volume here at 94, 95, 96K, okay? That is an area to be looking out for. You also have kind of high volume where we're at right now, okay? But we're pushing past 91K here, heading to 92K. And there's a gap in the VRVP, if you can see that. There's a gap here, which means that we could gap up in price as well to like 93, 93K, 94, 95, 96K, okay? But we could probably gap up to 93K real quick here. That's what, only about $1,200 away on the price of Bitcoin. That could easily happen today. Okay, we could see 93K. Totally throw people off guard here. Catch people off guard that we're shorting. I think we're kind of getting a little bit of a short squeeze right now. And you know, the people that panic sold, they might have to end up panic buying again at prices higher than where they sold it at, and that's tough and rough here. But you know, it's kind of part of what happens here. But yeah, on the VRVP, if we make it past 96K, there is another gap here. There's not much resistance until we start getting up to like 101, 102K. That's why I highlighted 102, 103K here, because there's a lot of volume here on the VRVP indicator that shows that people probably won't sell their Bitcoin until we actually get up to like 102, 103K. Okay, but right now a good majority of people will probably try to sell at 96K. So that's 96K is still the area that I'm looking for according to the VRVP indicator. And then short term, later on today, like 93K could come into play here, right? We got 93, 94K could act as resistance, okay? So that we might hit our head against the ceiling at 93, 94K. So if I'm interested in shorting Bitcoin, I'm probably gonna wait until we hit 93, 94K before I try to re-engage and do a short on this thing, because it looks like we're kind of doing the breakout right now. Let me go back into the chat here. We got 31 people here on TikTok. Thank you guys for coming into the stream here. Crypto Fountain is asking me, how do I get this indicator? I'm assuming you're talking about the VRVP indicator, which is this indicator off on the right. You got the green and red bars. If you go into your indicators here on TradingView, and let's see, I got it set up as one of my favorites here. You're looking for the visual range volume profile indicator. That indicator, I'm not sure if you can get it on the free version of TradingView. I think you might have to get a subscription for that. But if you're looking for, to get that visual range volume profile indicator to help you out here, and you got to sign up for TradingView for a subscription plan, I do have a discount code. If you go on to the Meet Damien TikTok channel, let me see if I pull this up real quick here. But I do have a $15 discount code for TradingView. If you click on that link, you'll get my referral link there to get $15 off your TradingView account. Okay, but yeah, I think the VRVP indicator is a indicator that you have to pay for. I mean, I double check. I might be wrong. Maybe they might have changed the rules last time I checked. But if you don't have a subscription plan, I think subscription plans, they go for like $100 a year, or you can do like a monthly plan, like I think like $15 or $20 a month. But yeah, it's a good indicator to add to your chart. And when you do set it up, right, you want to set it up kind of like similar to what I have. When you have the inputs, it's going to probably look something like this, where it's like 24 on the row size, okay? And it will look kind of like blocky like that, right? In order to kind of make it like kind of exact and precise the way I have it, you got to go into the settings on the VRVP indicator, and you put like a 0 where that 24 is. So now you have 240 bars. And then it kind of looks like this, where you can kind of see the gaps now in the VRVP indicator, okay? Which shows you like there's not that much volume. You can end up gapping up, gapping down, going from one node to the next node, okay? And if you want to learn how to set it up and how to trade it, you go back to my TikTok here. I have a video here on the VRVP indicator. Right over here, I got it pinned to the top of the channel here. That's a pretty good video. It's got a good amount of views already. At 1,800 views. I'm expecting probably like 2,000 views sooner rather than later on that video. Okay, but let me get rid of the VRVP indicator. We actually have some requests to go through here. We have Aussie asking about Solana. Let me go ahead and write that down. So I kind of wanted to do a live trading stream, but I got stopped out of my short. Daniel says he went short. All right, good luck on that. I know I got stopped out on some of my shorts already. So yeah, it looks like Idris will talk about Sahara, and then we gotta look at Solana as well. And then Suraj is asking, is this a bull trap? Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, let me look at these other cryptocurrencies here for you guys. Yeah, Goro, we're kind of getting a little bit of a relief rally, and if we do dump again, it might happen around like 93K or 94K. All right, could happen now. Could happen now. But we're getting a nice vigorous rally here. I think someone mentioned, I know I'm on another Discord channel, and I was talking to this guy Porky. Porky thinks QT is ending. It ended yesterday. And that might be one of the reasons why there's more money to be floating around going into crypto and stocks here. All right, so we might be seeing a little bit of that going on right now. But yeah, let's look at Sahara. Let's go ahead and take a look at Sahara for Idris. Idris, you say you're from Italy? That's interesting. So yeah, I do have some European viewers here as well. What do I want to? I want to look at this on Coinbase. Is there? Try to figure out what exchange I want to look this on. I'll just look on Kraken exchange. Sure, why not? All right. So what's going on here with Sahara? Sahara is currently trading at 4 cents, up 0.5% today. And this coin looks like it hasn't really been trading long enough on Kraken exchange. It looks like it started trading here in June. It was doing alright for the summer. A little bit of spike up here and there. I'm not sure what this is all about. Maybe some news-driven event or something. But it wasn't able to sustain itself. So because this thing is relatively new, there's not that many moving averages for me to use on the daily time frame here. You do have the 50-day moving average as this green line, and the 100-day moving average as this blue line that's starting to show up in the chart. And then the 21 EMA is on the chart here, okay? And it usually follows the price action really close, but it's way above you. And you had a very violent drop here on Friday. Wow, you lost 12% on Friday, 36% on Saturday. And I guess at this point, you're wondering, is this thing going to bottom out, right? Or is this thing going to continue on its dump here? Well, I want to see if there's any bullish divergence showing up on the chart here. On the daily time frame, you can see, yeah, we are clearly oversold here. RSI of like 17 on Saturday, 16 on Sunday, about 16 here on Tuesday. So you haven't really made higher lows yet on the RSI, so I can't really say there's bullish divergence. I'm not sure if the buyers are going to show up at these prices here. Also on the MACD, right, you have selling pressure is increasing and it's not decreasing. And also on the MACD, you got the orange and the blue line, right? Blue line is clearly far below. Orange line is kind of like right here, kind of in the red with the red candles here. But you want to see like basically this blue line start going back up again, okay, indicating that it's done selling off here on the MACD, right? That there could be some buyers showing up here, but you don't see that. This thing is cratering right now. So I mean, how far down could it go? Well, you're kind of near the lows for the year. Like the lowest low was like when it first started trading at like 0.0, yeah, about 4 pennies. So you're at the lows for the year. The lowest low was about actually 3.5 cents here on Saturday. And I kind of have to do like a Fibonacci on this to see if there's any Fibonacci extension levels to the downside. Okay. So just measuring like this to here to with the top over here. You got a 1272 Fibonacci extension to the downside that says this thing could probably go down to about 2.5 pennies. Okay. So the bleeding might not be done for Sahara, unfortunately. Okay. Because I'm not seeing anything positive on the charts, at least not on a daily time frame. Maybe I can go into the 4-hour time frame. There might be a different story being told here on the oscillators. Okay, so there kind of is here on the 4-hour time frame. You do have on the 4-hour time frame, you have selling pressure that was dying off, and now you got some buying pressure showing up here. Looks like it started showing up on Monday afternoon, going into Tuesday here. And this is where you see like this is what I want to see here. I want to see that blue line start to curve back up and cross the orange line. So maybe there might be some buyers starting to show up here on Sahara on the 4-hour time frame. And then let's see here on the RSI. Okay, yeah, now you're actually on the 4-hour time frame. You're starting to get some higher lows here on the RSI. So maybe there might be some bullish divergence showing up here on Sahara. So it might actually be trying to bottom out here. Okay, but if it isn't bottoming out and you do another drop, like I said, about 1272, about 2.5 pennies is where this thing could possibly go next, based on the Fibonacci numbers here. Now, on to the upside, you know, if this thing does start climbing back up, you would expect it to climb back up to the 618 golden pocket here at 5.5 pennies. That should be a take profit target to the upside for like a first take profit target. And then let's see, going forward, if it was able to go past that, then maybe we can move our way back up to the moving averages above you maybe get back up to the 0.236 retracement at 7 pennies here. But I would first look for 5.5 pennies to the upside. Of course, move your stop loss as the price goes up to higher prices. And then see if you can target 7 pennies, okay, to the upside for Sahara. If there is going to be upside. There's still no guarantee of that. Alright, let's see what you guys are saying here back in the chat here. Oh, I'm not from Italy. I'm from the United States. I'm here in Massachusetts. Yep. Alright. Modern Design says this game on. Here comes the Santander rally. Are you talking about like a crypto or stock? Because I know there's a bank called Santander. And is that a request or are you just making a statement? Alright, alright. Crypto Fountain, you're welcome. B Towels asked me, what's the white line? So this white line is what I use as part of my moving averages, and that's the 21 EMA. Okay, let me see if I can zoom in. But when an asset is bullish, it's going to be above all the moving averages, okay? And the first moving average that usually follows the price is the 21 EMA, because it's measuring the last 21 candles, okay? Then then below that would be the 50 moving average, which is this green line here, and that's measuring the last 50 candles. And then the blue line is measuring the 100 moving average. That's the 100 moving average, and then the red is the 200 moving average, and that's measuring the last 200 candles in. When an asset is bullish, it's going to be the price is going to be above all those moving averages, and the red's going to be below the blue's going to be below the green's going to be below the white. Okay. And in a bearish, it gets flip-flopped, and then the white ends up being closer to where the price is at, right? That white line is closer to where the price is at because that's the 21 moving average. And then you got the green line is the 50, the 100, and the 200 is that red line right there. Okay. So yeah, those are moving averages, which is great, especially on the smaller time frames. I like to use those averages to help me figure out where my take profit's going to be, or where the support might be for putting in a stop loss. So yeah. Hulk Smash says that the FRVP is a free tool on the sidebar. All right, yeah, I think I have to familiarize myself with that one, Hulk Smash. But Hulk Smash is saying that there is another kind of like VRVP indicator that might be free to use. Okay. But yeah, we'll have to talk about that. You'll have to probably send that in the Discord and show me where exactly to find that FRVB indicator there, Hulk Smash. All right. If you like send me a screenshot and send it to me in the Discord. Let's take a look at the Solana next. I think before I had a subscription, Hulk Smash, I was using anything that was free, obviously. But I got so used to using the VRVP indicator, I kind of forgot where the free indicators are at. Alright, let's look at the Solana. And we'll go into the daily time frame here for Solana before we look at smaller time frames, if we want to here. Solana currently trading at $139.60, up 10% today. I actually did get into a spot position. I actually added to Solana yesterday because I just saw how brutal the sell-off was. And I just figured, like, if we're going to make a higher low, which we end up doing on the daily time frame here, that, you know, this might be the cheapest price I could get Solana, and then I could just do a nice trade up back to higher prices here. And what I was looking for Solana for a long was, I was looking to get in on Solana around like $123. I think I got in like $123.95 using Coinbase Exchange. And I didn't get the low yesterday. The low was at $123.08, but I put my stop loss below that low. I actually put it below the low here on Friday as well, November 21st, when we saw Solana down at $121. I actually put my stop loss like at $119 here. Because I figure if Solana loses $120, we're probably going to head down to like $106, $103, somewhere in the low 100s. Okay. if it's going to be game over for Solana. But I was game planning, you know, I just wanted to bring, see if I could get Solana to sell Solana at higher prices and get above this 21 EMA. I think I had a target of 143 bucks. I have to figure out why I got that target, but this long position I was looking at, by getting in at $123.90 here, I had a risk-reward ratio about 4.45. Anything above 3 is a good risk-reward ratio to be taken. And I was only risking about 3%, 3.5% here on my stop loss. And the reward is I could get like a 15% gain. We kind of got some of that already, where we're up like 10% right now. But I do have a take profit on this at $143 for my long on Solana. And I think I was just trying to target the 21 EMA, right? The 21 EMA, that white line on the daily time frame, is at $136. But I think I was also kind of targeting, what we did here earlier here on Wednesday and Thursday of last week, where we only got up to like 144 bucks here on Solana. $144. If we get past that, I mean, it's gonna be we'll probably end up climbing right back up to like 155, 160 bucks here on Solana, okay? But I was just looking for a quick, easy trade, you know, a slam dunk trade, just using spot, not even using leverage. And I was targeting basically the highs from last week, where we saw Solana at $144. That's the reason why I said, you know, I'll sell it at 143. I'm not sure if we're going to get right back to 144, but I think 143 should be a good target to have for my quick trade on Solana, just using regular spot, not even leverage. So I like the way things are playing out so far here on Solana, to try and get a bounce. And you could also consider this, right? Looking at the daily time frame, this could be a double bottom, right? You have a bottom here at $121.47 on November 21st. Then you have another bottom here at $123.08 on December 1st. Anytime you get lows that are within 1 to 3% of each other, that is a double bottom. And for the double bottom, you just measure from where those bottoms are at to the top in between the two bottoms, which was like $144 here. You take that measured move, you put it on top of the top in between the two bottoms here, okay? And it gives you an idea as like how high this Solana could go to the upside here if it does continue being bullish. And we have that blue number right there, $165 is your swing trade or long-term target here on Solana, which puts you right back to like where you're trading at here in the beginning of November. So I think that's a reasonable target for Solana, is $165 if this double bottom ends up playing out to the upside here for Solana. So maybe I can still stay in my long on Solana, right? And I could just target $165. I could take a little bit of profit at 143 bucks, but then I could take maybe a second take profit target here at about 164 bucks, and that's about a 33% gain. You see that green number there up top? That's about 33% gain. And had you got in at the prices that I got in yesterday, your risk reward ratio would be about 9.2, which is a really, really good trade to take. All right, let me try to catch up on the chat here, see what you guys are saying. Thank you, Kinsley, for following me here on TikTok, and thank you, Totsi, for following me here on TikTok as well. Your long-term target for Solana is 250. That could happen. I don't think that's going to happen this year. I mean, we only have, how many more days left? 29 more days left here in December before it's the end of the year. Maybe that might happen in 2026. Who knows? Okay. I feel like the cycles are getting a little bit weird, because usually we plan things out with a 4-year cycle. We've noticed, Bitcoin and crypto has had a 4-year cycle where we have like 3 good years of gains where Bitcoin goes up to higher prices, and then 1 bad year of a bear market where Bitcoin goes down from the all-time highs, makes a bear market low, and then tries to go up to higher prices. if you subscribe to the theory of the 4-year cycle, then, you know, this year would have been the all-time high at 126K for Bitcoin. And then we're supposed to get like a year, a bear market for like about a year. And usually, from what I noticed, like the bear market usually lasts about like 12 months in Bitcoin, right? Because, you know, in 2017, we topped out on Bitcoin at 100. I'm sorry, I'm just so used to saying 100. We topped out on Bitcoin in 2017 at like 19K in December of 2017. And then we bottomed out in like December of 2018, like 12 months later at like 3,500 or 4,000, somewhere around there, if I can remember correctly. And then, you know, we had good years after, you know, 2018. 2019 was like a recovery year. 2020 was kind of a recovery year. Because the end of 2020, we saw Bitcoin at like $29,000, if I can remember correctly. And then 2021 was like, you know, we topped out on Bitcoin at 69K in November of 2021. And then we had another bad year after that, where going into 2022, we didn't bottom out until we went to like 15K at November of 2022. And then we had a recovery year in 2023 and a recovery year in, you know, 2024, making new all-time highs in 2024. And then 2025 was supposed to be the best year for Bitcoin and crypto. And if we're still in the 4-year cycle, then 2026 is supposed to be a bad year for Bitcoin and crypto. So, and we're kind of seeing the beginnings of that right now. Let me get into Bitcoin right now. But we're kind of seeing the beginnings of that here in towards the end of 2025 here. So I don't know if Solana's going to get back to 250. If Bitcoin is going into a bear market, it's going to be hard for Solana to go to 250. But this cycle has been weird because, as I zoom out, we hit, you know, a new all-time high back in like March of 2024, where we saw Bitcoin hit 73K before the halving, which was supposed to be in like May of 2024. So that was weird. We also got Bitcoin ETFs and institutional investors buying Bitcoin right now. Okay. And then things that were different about this 2025 was like interest rates were higher than what they were in 2017 and 2021. Interest rates were at like 5%, although like 4 years ago in 2021, interest rates were like below 1%. Does anybody remember that? And the reason why interest rates are kind of high is because they're worried about inflation from Trump's tariffs. We didn't have Trump doing tariffs back in 2021 and 2017 when he was in power. Like when Trump was president, he wasn't raising tariffs to like 100% on China. So we didn't have that going on in 2017. So like things are kind of different. So maybe we don't get a brutal bear market. Maybe this is as brutal as it gets. Maybe we just seen as far as it goes down for Bitcoin here, and then we just recover. Like Bitcoin, I think it came down like 36% from the highs here. Let's take a look at that real quick here. At 126,200 down to like, we went to like 80K roughly, 80,500. It was like a 36% drop on Bitcoin. Okay. Now in the traditional world, that's considered a bear market, right? Anytime you're below 20%, and especially if you're below 20% from the all-time high, and you're also below the 200-day moving average. Like, and my qualification as well is like being below the 200-day moving average. This red line that's curving right here. I know I got a bunch of red lines here. Maybe I should probably use a different Bitcoin chart. Let me see if I can do it on here, Bitstamp. Yeah. But anytime you're below the 200-day moving average, in my opinion, you're in a bear market. And the bear market could last a few days, a few weeks, a few months, or even a year. Okay. But if you're below the 200-day moving average on any asset, in my opinion, you're in a bear market. Okay. And of course, to get below that 200-day moving average, you have to be below the all-time high or the high for the year, and we're also below 20% from the all-time high. So I have to say that we're in a bear market on Bitcoin. Okay. But that can change if we get above that 200-day moving average. If we get above that 200-day moving average, this red line here, If we get above that red line at $109,500 here, I would be back to being bullish on Bitcoin. I will be like, I am now a believer again, okay? But, you know, with Bitcoin making lower highs here, you know, we have to worry. Is this going to be a lower high? Okay, is this going to be a lower high? If it's not going to be a lower high, then, you know, we can still come up to like, we can come up as high as like 100K here and still make a lower high than what we did here in the middle of November. So, you know, the trend could still be intact where we're still making lower highs and lower lows here. Even though we're kind of making higher lows right now, which is good to see. That's why we're kind of getting a relief rally. If we come up to like 100K and then get shot down and get rejected and go to lower prices, then, you know, we're still making lower highs in the overall long-term time frame here. So I need to see us get above 105K here. I need to see us get up to like 108, 109K, and then I'll be like, all right, this was just a correction, a really steep and deep correction, but a correction is what I will call it if we can get back up to the 200-day moving average. And that's just the 200-day simple moving average that I'm using here for Bitcoin. Brown MCN is in the chat saying how I'm doing. I'm doing all right. I'm doing good. Just currently watching the price of Bitcoin. I wanted to short Bitcoin, but Bitcoin looks like it still has some momentum to go up to higher prices here. I'll probably go into like the 1 hour and 15-minute time frame to see how much higher Bitcoin could possibly go here. Because we might hit 93K today. I mean, right now we're looking at all the other cryptos here. Bitcoin's at 91,500. Ethereum's back above 3 grand. That's good to see. Sui up 18%. Solana up 10%. Zcash not really catching any love today. That's unfortunate because it was getting a lot of love the last couple of months. I guess, you know, no one wants to love Zcash right now because it's already had too much love already. Cardano's up 11%. AVAX up 6%. XRP up 6.9%. Okay, so we're having a decent day here in cryptos. Some of these cryptos are up 10% from where they were yesterday. But we were also down like 10% on some of these cryptos. So they're just going back to where they were on Sunday. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves here. Let's see. Hoaxmaster in the chat saying Total 3 is an interesting chart. You haven't formed an opinion on it, but it's interesting to look at. Definitely supports the Euphoria last December thesis. Interesting. Maybe we can take a look at that. Dully's asking, are we going to get a recovery like the COVID crash? COVID crash was very interesting, but I don't know, maybe. Vargas is asking about a Bitcoin dump, and then TPA is asking me what's my trading strategy. So my trading strategy was I was interested in buying crypto yesterday after that dump because we were still making a higher low compared to what we were doing here on Friday, November 21st. Okay, and just looking at some other oscillators, I was seeing a reversal where, you know, buyers were stepping in on the lower prices there. So we did get that. You know, I don't know. I feel like the beginning of this week, I've been kind of off on my trading. Like I feel like pumps and dumps are happening when I'm not on the charts. Okay, so maybe I need to get into putting in limit orders and just instead of doing market orders, do limit orders and just wait for my targets to get hit here. Okay, but let's look at Bitcoin on the smaller time frames here to see how much higher it could go. Let's go into the we'll go into the 1 hour time frame and then walk it down to the 15-minute and then the 5-minute. All right. So on the 1 hour time frame, Bitcoin, nice to see that it's getting above the moving averages here. 21 EMAs curving up. If this continues on, eventually the 21 EMA will cross above the other moving averages, which could, you know, signify that the price wants to continue going up here on the 1 hour time frame. And let's get into the oscillators here real quick. On the 1 hour time frame, I am a little bit cautious about long in Bitcoin. I don't think there's going to be too much room to the upside. I think we could see 92 or 93K later on. Okay, but we do have RSI is overbought at 80 on the 1 hour time frame, so that's like my caution light or my yellow light saying like, hey, you know, you could long Bitcoin, but just know it's a risky long, okay? And even just trying to short it, it could still push up higher, so I'm not sure if I want to short. So right now, I'm thinking about not taking a trade right now on Bitcoin, just because the only trade to be having is to probably be long and just taking profit right now. I wouldn't be trying to look for a short right now. Okay, but maybe in the smaller time frames I might change my mind here. Okay, and then as far as like MACD goes, buying pressure is steadily increasing. So like, I would need to see this blue line on the 1 hour time frame start going down, and I would need to see like light green show up on the 1 hour time frame for me to be like, okay, maybe we're done going up and maybe I can enter a short. Okay, but I can't do that because on the 1 hour time frame we're still increasing buying pressure here, and the blue line and orange line are still skyrocketing up, and the blue line hasn't even started coming down yet, and that orange line will eventually come down as well, but it hasn't yet either. So I on the 1 hour time frame I can't take a short, not yet. Okay, and then here on the market side for B indicator here, momentum is to the upside. Obviously, we are in oversold territory. These red lines here, these horizontal bars, are the oversold. I'm sorry, the overbought indicator here. So we are in overbought territory. I said oversold, but I meant to say overbought. Okay. So at any moment, could be a good time to start shorting Bitcoin, but also here, I don't have that red dot to justify that we should sell on the 1 hour time frame. Okay, just look at the 1 hour time frame. Okay, like back here, you had your red dot here on Sunday, and you had this little emoji saying, "Hey, we're topping out on Bitcoin," and that was your signal to start entering a short on Bitcoin. Had you done that, right? You would have been doing that at Bitcoin at 91,400, 91,500, which was like the top on Sunday, and then you would have got paid on your short, later on Sunday night. Okay, so I'm waiting for something like that to happen here on Tuesday, or maybe it happens Wednesday morning. I don't know, but I don't have that red sell dot yet telling me that, hey, might be a good time to enter a short. Okay, at least not on the 1 hour time frame. Now let's go into the 15-minute time frame. Might be telling a different story here. On the 15-minute time frame, you do have a red sell dot that came in, and it's above the overbought bars here. Okay, all right. So maybe the move is starting to peter out here and lose momentum here for Bitcoin. Okay. Just looking at the market side for B indicator on Bitcoin here on the 15-minute time frame. Now I would want to see this money flow. You got money flow, which is in the green here. I want to start seeing that start curving down. Okay, to justify this red sell dot that money is now leaving Bitcoin, that the longs are taking profit, that maybe there might be short sellers that are now entering the picture here. And that would justify me getting into a short. So I'm not quite convinced yet to go into a short, but I think yeah, we're getting close to it though. Maybe later on this afternoon I can enter a short and be comfortable being in that short. All right, and then here on the MACD, buying pressure is dying down. So that's good to see. So yeah, it looks like we are losing steam here on the 15-minute time frame for Bitcoin. Okay, but the problem is that yeah, you could be losing buying pressure, and then all of a sudden it could start increasing again. Like look we did here earlier this morning, where yeah, buying pressure was here around like 6 a.m. and then it started dying down at like 7 a.m. and then 8 a.m. came in. And then buying pressure started increasing again. Okay, so you could get like kind of like a fake out. That's why you kind of want wait for confirmation with that blue line crosses the orange line to the downside here. Now let's see if it's doing something like that. Right now the blue line, it looks like it's starting to curve down. when this blue line crosses the orange line on the 15-minute time frame, that's your confirmation to try to enter a short, okay? That a short might actually play out for you, okay? So that's what I'm looking for, because if this blue line doesn't cross the orange line, and if the blue line comes close, but then it does a, you know, a fake out and starts going back up again, then you'll start seeing, you know, buying pressure show up again on this 15-minute time frame where it starts to steadily increase like it did here earlier this morning, okay? So that's how you prevent yourself from getting faked out, by looking at these signals here with the blue and orange line. You just want to see that blue line actually cross the orange line to justify entering a short on that time frame, okay? Now let's see what the 5-minute time frame is showing here, okay? As we start to zoom in more on Bitcoin, we're like zooming in like using a microscope here. On the 5-minute time frame, let's see, we saw Bitcoin at 92K at like around 12:25 p.m. Eastern time here. Up to like, yeah, 92K earlier. All right. RSI is showing that it is coming down, so we're no longer overbought on the 5-minute time frame. However, this is looking like bearish divergence, right? Where the RSI is showing lower highs here. However, the price is still making higher highs. So you got that going on here. You got bearish divergence, okay? Just regular classic bearish divergence. It's not hidden. It's pretty obvious that the price is going higher. However, the RSI is going lower here, okay? This could still, you know, Bitcoin could still climb up to higher prices here, right? Where it could shoot up to like 92,500, even maybe 93K, make one more higher high before we get the dump, okay, to lower prices here. All right, so the bearish divergence is just kind of like a warning that you're getting close to topping out here, okay? However, if you're still in a long and you're trying to push it up to higher prices, you might actually be able to do that, okay? Until we start getting some signals here that Bitcoin wants to dump here, okay? Now let's look at the other indicators here, the yellow oscillators here on the MACD. You can see that on the 5-minute time frame, selling pressure was kind of steep here around 11 o'clock, but then it started dying off, and then, you know, Bitcoin actually started climbing up in prices. You got some buying pressure showing up here, and then now we got a little bit of selling pressure. But if this thing starts dying off again, and we start seeing pink candles here on the 5-minute time frame, then it might mean that Bitcoin wants to do one last hoorah to the upside, and then maybe you might be able to catch that short. All right, I'm still talking about trying to short Bitcoin because I don't think a long is going to play out too much and make you a lot of money here. I think shorting is now, for the day traders, this is what the day traders are looking for, is when can we enter a short on Bitcoin and crypto, okay? Just for a day trade. We're not, you know, long-term bearish or whatever. I mean, some of you guys might be, but we're looking to see if how we can get paid if this thing starts dropping down in price on us. Okay, so here on the on market cipher B, you have a green buy dot that showed up here about 5 minutes ago. So maybe Bitcoin does want to do one more last hoorah to the upside. Maybe we go up to 92K soon here and start hitting maybe 92.5 to 93K here. So that's what I'm looking here on market cipher B on the 5-minute time frame. I see that we could make one last push up. But when we make that last push up, I'm looking for, you know, on the 5-minute time frame here, I'm looking for us to be overbought, to be above these red horizontal bars, and I'm also looking for like red sell dots here, as well as the top signals here, these little emojis here saying that, hey, we're topping out, might want to enter a short, okay? But it's just the 5-minute time frame. It doesn't have as much significance as like the 15-minute time frame or the 1-hour time frame, okay? So when I see a red sell dot show up on market cipher B here on the 1-hour time frame, I know for damn sure I can start entering a short, and I'll be all right for at least you know, a couple hours, you know, at the very least. All right, let's get back into the chat here. Wow, I got 57 people here on TikTok. Thank you guys for coming in. Got someone here asking sell or buy. If you're a short-term trader, you might be looking to try to sell right now, okay? If you're a long-term trader, I don't know, maybe later on tonight when like most Americans are sleeping, might be a good time to buy. If you got a long-term, if you're trying to buy Bitcoin cheap. Right now, we're near the highs for the day, so I wouldn't really say this is cheap Bitcoin. But maybe when like America goes to sleep, because America has the most money, right? America does have like the most money out of all the countries here. When the Americans go to sleep and they're not buying on the cryptocurrency exchanges, I noticed that that's usually a good time to buy cheaper crypto if you're trying to buy some cheap crypto. Gamer38 asking me what indicator is that? Were you talking about this indicator here? This is the market cipher B indicator. Okay. You can see that here on the top. It says market cipher B by Welo Trades. If you want to add that to your chart, let's see, it's one of my favorites here. We're just looking for market cipher B by Welo Trades is the indicator that I use here. Okay. I believe that's what you're asking for, unless you're talking about the MACD. This is the MACD indicator here, which I think a lot of traders and investors are familiar with. And then of course, then we got the RSI indicator here, the relative strength in the index or indicator. But yeah, that's the market cipher B indicator, I believe, is the one that you were asking about. By Welo Trades is one I use. Let's see, I'm just catching up on the chat here. TPA is asking me, he wants to give me something that will help me get perfect entries. Sure. You could let me know here in the chat, or you could just message me on TikTok, or guys, you could also find me here on Discord. If I'm not live streaming and you want to talk to me, you can find me on the Meet Damien Discord channel here. Let me see if I can pull this up here for my my YouTube guys here. Gotta go window capture and move this over. But yeah, I do have a Discord for my YouTube guys and my TikTok guys. You can find the Meet Damien Discord, where you can see when I go live. I usually post up when I go live, okay? And you know, you can share your trades. Some people share, you know, whether they're, you know, how well they're doing on their longs or their shorts. You know, we got a guy here who longs Solana 50x. He got in at 137. He sold at 139. Congratulations to him. And here's another long that he did. Also, you know, I do have a separate channel here. If you do want to show your gains, you know, we do have some guys killing it right now on the trades right now. 50x long, up 740%, got in at 41 cents, got out at 48 cents. Congratulations to Cameron. He's also not afraid to show you when he loses, because he doesn't always win all the time. But yeah, he took a loss on that ban trade, but it didn't stop him from getting back in again. Okay, because he did try it again, and he was able to make up for that loss. Okay, so we got some pretty good traders here in the chat on the Meet Damien Discord. If you guys want to learn from, you know, other traders as well as myself, go ahead and join the Meet Damien channel. And the link to join that is going to be, you can find that here on YouTube, and you could also find it on Discord. It should be in the description to my channel. Let me get back into here. But for my TikTok guys, right, you can find the Discord link right there. Okay, and let me move this over so that way my my guys here can see that on YouTube as well. There we go. Oh no, I lost my, see, this is, I hate when I have to switch over from Discord to to the other channel. But anyways, for my TikTok guys, you could get the link there. You can also message me on TikTok. And let's see, I'm trying to get my YouTube up here, and I'm trying to get this up and running here. Let me try to refresh the scene here. Sometimes if I just click over and then I can change it back. All right, there we go. Here we go. There we go. There we go. I just have to like, it's such a pain in the butt, but here we go. All right, so on my channel here, you can find the Meet Damien Discord. Okay. There's a link to join the Discord as well, so you can stay up to date and chat with other traders besides myself. Share your indicators. If you guys think that you have a better indicator to use, you know, share that as well. All right. Gamer38 says you're in the short. What are you shorting, Gamer? What asset are you shorting? What's your entry? What's your stop loss? What's your take profit? Just curious. Let's get back into Bitcoin. Bitcoin looks like it's closing in on 92K. So there you go, guys. Last time I was looking at Bitcoin, we were at like 91,700 or 600, somewhere around that time frame, or somewhere around that price. But you can see, yeah, Bitcoin could still, in my opinion, go to 92K or 92.5. Maybe 93K, and I think around 93K is where I want to look for a short. But right now, I mean, you could try to do a scalp long and see if you can push it to 93K. Like, there you go. There's 92K right there on Bitcoin. Now's the time to take profits, in my opinion, if you're long in it. If you're not day trading it, but you're looking to get out and you're hurting on crypto, maybe now's a good day to try to take a little bit of pain away by selling at higher prices than what you could have got yesterday. But yeah, it looks like Bitcoin wants to march up to higher prices, in my opinion here. We got Trade Intuitions in the chat. Good to see you, Trade Intuition. And we got Dave P. And looks like we got a Trade Intuition raid going on. Okay, good to see you guys here. I appreciate that. We gotta get some more people showing up here on YouTube. I got like 53 people here on TikTok, but my YouTube channel is a little bit lacking right now. But I appreciate you guys coming into the chat here. All right, so let's see. Gamer38 says he's looking. All right, you entered. What did you enter? You said you entered a short, but what asset are you shorting? That was my question for you. What asset are you shorting? What's your entry and what's your stop loss and take profit? Therese asked me, Damon, what happened today? Crypto caught some bids today. But if you're wondering, like, if it's kind of like a surprise to you, which I think it might be to some people, but like quantitative tightening came to an end last night or yesterday. So they're no longer sucking money out of the system right now. Doesn't mean that they're putting money into it. It just means they're not taking money out of it. Okay, with the quantitative tightening. So that's probably why we're getting a little bit of a relief rally here on Bitcoin, and a relief rally here in stock market as well. I think the stocks are doing pretty well too. Let's see. S&P 500 is up a little bit. Nasdaq's up 0.5%. Dow Jones up 0.18%, but not going as crazy as crypto right now. We got DZ showing up. DZ with a bunch of requests. He wants to look at ALCX, Farcoin, and Monad. Okay. Let me go ahead and write those down. I might have to limit you to 2 requests here. Why don't we look at Farcoin and Monad first, because we looked at ALCX yesterday. But yeah, let's see. You want to look at yeah, sure enough. Why don't we look at Farcoin? Popular meme coin this year. Has it had its ups and downs. And then Monad, I think Monad was catching some bids last week or something, but it had a drop this weekend. Gamer38 here on TikTok is saying you short Super. You're shorting Super. Okay. Interesting. And what is your entry and your stop loss on your short on Super? I might take a look at that as well on the charts. Maybe I might want to get in on the short. Maybe it might be better than trying to short Bitcoin. I don't know. But yeah, let's take a look at the Farcoin here for DZ. So you can see Farcoin currently trading at 35 cents. Let's get into the daily time frame here. As I start to zoom out, what has Farcoin done? Well, Farcoin has done what most other altcoins have done, which is disappoint investors all throughout 2025. It seems like the beginning of 2025 was the time to be in altcoins and actually the time to actually get out, if you could. But Farcoin, let's see, here in July was the top at like $1.69. And let's see, back here, it looks like, yeah, the beginning of 2025. This thing was at like $1.98. Oh, $2.74, January 19th. Right when Trump got inaugurated. That was the day before he got inaugurated was the top for Farcoin. There you go. Okay. Alright, so now you got a little bit of brief history on Farcoin. Farcoin is up 10% today. That's good to see, I guess. The other thing that's good to see as well for Farcoin is you are above the 21 EMA. This 21 EMA has been acting as resistance. Okay, now you have gotten above the 21 EMA only for you to then get, you know, rejected. Like we got rejected off the 200-day moving average. This red line came down, came back up to the 21 EMA, kind of got above it, you know, for a couple of days here in October when Bitcoin was at $126,000. Does anybody remember that? And then of course you lost that. You lost that 21 EMA. And every time you keep coming up to it, you get rejected. Come up to it, rejected. Come up to it again, rejected. Come up to it, you didn't get rejected here towards the end of November. You came above it, and then, ooh, look at this. You actually came down to the 21 EMA, kind of use it as support now. And now what? Can we start making higher lows, higher highs here? This is good to see here on Farcoin, okay? If Farcoin is going to continue being bullish, you know, just using moving averages above you as take profit targets, I would probably target the first moving average here at 51 cents. Okay, that's this green line here. This is the 50-day moving average. I would probably target that as take profit on your long, or if you're you know, just in a regular spot position here. Take a little bit off the table at 51 cents. See how that does. You know, I'm expecting a rejection. I'm expecting other traders who are using moving averages here to click the sell button at that area. Okay, just eyeball on this chart. Okay, then other targets to the upside would be that 100-day above you at 72 cents, and then the 200-day sitting at 83 cents. Those are some other targets here. And it looks like this 100-day is kind of confluent to like the top here, back here in October, where we saw Farcoin as high as like 76 cents. Yeah, I think anywhere between like 72 76 cents is where you should take profit if you haven't taken profit yet on Farcoin. Okay, but first take profit target, I would look for 51 cents, especially if I'm like day trading this. I should definitely consider getting out at 51 cents. Okay. Let's see what the oscillators are doing here on Farcoin. Looks like you kind of are making higher lows here on the RSI indicator after making lower lows. So there was bullish divergence forming here on Farcoin. I can quickly draw that out for you. You know, you got your lower lows on the price. However, you got the higher lows here on the RSI. So you got your bullish divergence showing up here on the charts. And on the daily time frame, very interesting. You actually been having buying pressure. Not really much selling pressure. There was a little bit here in the first week of November. But I think Farcoin has already had enough selling pressure all throughout the year. And maybe Farcoin could be bottoming out here. Very funny enough, okay? You might be actually seeing a bottom here, forming here on Farcoin. Now, I want to see Farcoin as it continues, if it's going to continue being bullish, I want to see it make those higher highs, come up to the 50-day moving average, maybe it gets a rejection, and then I want to see a higher low before him. I don't want to see a lower low, I want to see a higher low, okay? Then form up and start climbing to higher prices where we start going up to like maybe the 100-day moving average or even the 200-day moving average. And if you get above that 200-day moving average, I would start to become bullish again on Farcoin. Okay, right now Farcoin has a lot of work to do and a lot of proving to do to show me that it is going to be bullish instead of bearish here. Right now, we've been bearish all throughout since like the end of the summer here, and in a downtrend. But this could be the start of an uptrend. All you gotta do is just keep making higher lows and higher highs. So, all right, Farcoin. That looks like you know, I gave you the upside targets here, downside target. You know, don't go lower than what you did here on November 22nd at like 17.179 pennies here. Jeez, but if you did that, wow, if you did that, that's almost like a 50% drop from where you are right now. So, I mean, this is what meme coins are all about, right? You could lose 50% of your investment, right? If you just go back to where you were 2 weeks ago. Yikes. However, you know, with these meme coins, if you do go up to that 50-day moving average, you'll be up 47%, almost 50%. And if you go up to that 100-day moving average, you'll be up 100% from where you are right now. So that's like the power of meme coins here, where, you know, you could lose 50% or you could double your money. Let's see. Gamer over here responding back to my question. He says his take profits at 25 cents for Super, and his stop loss is at 28 cents. All right. Let's actually take a look at Super, and then we'll come back to looking at was it Monad for DZ. And Tarek, what's that you're asking me about here? You said 80% Asian 8? Is that a request? I'm not sure. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at Super now. Because my buddy here on TikTok, Gamer38, he's in a short right now. And I'm a little bit curious what he saw that made him want to take a short. Alright, so this is Superverse. I'm getting data off of Coinbase Exchange here. Okay. This thing has topped out back here in December of 2024 at $2. Had a bad year like some other cryptocurrencies throughout 2025, like a lot of the altcoins, to be honest with you. There's only been some altcoins that actually did alright this year. That's like the high market crypto. The high market altcoins like Solana and XRP were actually able to have decent years, but this one had a bad year. Looks like you've been in a downtrend since July, middle July. And I don't know if I could, I mean, you're gonna have to give me your justification for why you're shorting Superverse here, because this thing has already been a downtrend. The only thing I can say is that it is still in a downtrend, right? And you're flirting with the 21 EMA on the daily time frame here. When you get above the 21 EMA, or if you're at the 21 EMA, that's a time too short if your thesis is that this thing is going to continue going down the lower prices here. Okay. What is your entry on Superverse here? What is what price did you get in at for your short? You said you just entered. So if you said you just entered, I'm assuming like 26 cents, maybe 27 cents, maybe. But would I do a short is the question I'm going to try to answer here. Would I try to short? I mean, I get the idea of like if you're using the 21 EMA, if you're a moving average guy like myself, the 21 EMA usually is where you get rejected, because you see you got above it only for one day, but you didn't even close above it here on Thursday, November 13th. And then you kind of got rejected here on October 27th, and you got rejected from the 21 EMA on October 16th and October 15th. So that would be the idea. That would be the idea that I would use to try to short this. Is like every time you get to 21 EMA, you get knocked down. And yeah, you're up 16%. let's see, earlier last night, this thing opened at 22 cents. So, okay. Not too bad of a terrible idea to short. But let's look at the oscillators. Let's see our buyers stepping in here, okay? Because you might have a little bit of a fight from the longs. Let's see. Trying to see if there's any bullish divergence showing up. You got low, kind of low here, and then a lower low. That lower low showed up on November 21st. That was kind of like a fluke, I guess, where Bitcoin dropped to 80K here. See, what I'm worried about right now is that the buyers are stepping in and they're now making higher lows on the daily time frame here. And they're also making higher highs on the RSI than what they were doing back here in October. It's not like until like the beginning of October where this, you know, the highest high was back here in September 29th on the RSI at like 64. Right now the RSI is at 51. I'm not too excited to get into this short, but I understand why you did take it if you're trying to just do a day trade here. I am looking at the daily time frames. So there might be some better stuff here on the smaller time frames. Momentum is coming up here, so I'd be worried about this right here on Market Cipher B. Momentum is going to the upside on the daily time frame, and money flow is going up. Okay, it went from, you know, money flow in the red to money flow in the green on the daily time frame. So I'd be very careful here. Just knowing that in the long term, if you try to make this like a longer than a day trade, if you try to turn this into like a leveraged swing trade, you know, you don't have any red sell dots here to save your butt on the daily time frame here. It'd be better if there was a red sell dot, then you know, like, all right, yeah, today's gonna be a bad day for the longs. Today's gonna be a bad day for the bulls. But right now, they had a green buy dot, and they've been okay with being in this since November 22nd. All right. But anyways, let's look into the smaller time frames. Maybe you saw something in the small time frame here. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame. 1 hour time frame. Looks like they're bullishly consolidating here. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Ugh, all right. RSI overbought around 10 a.m. But even Bitcoin was overbought. Now your RSI is kind of cooling down off a little bit here. Let's see what the MACD looks like on the 1 hour time frame for this asset. Buying pressure is dying down. The blue line is starting to curve downward, or at least it's going horizontal now instead of going up. So I guess shorting is okay. You might be a little bit too early on the short, but what you want to see to stay in the trade is you want to see the blue line come down back to this orange line on the MACD, at least on the 1 hour time frame, and you want to see that cross. If you see that cross, you know that your short is probably going to play out to the downside here, so that way you can make some money. And on Market Cipher B, now this is what you want to see on the daily time frame, but here on the 1 hour time frame, if you're shorting it, yeah, you got that red sell dot here, okay? That came in at 11 a.m. And you want to see the momentum start curving down, and you want to see the money flow start curving down. So it could still be a little bit too early on the short, okay? You could get a green buy dot. Money could start flowing back into this asset out of nowhere. And then the price starts increasing, and then your short starts going against you. Okay, I want to see money flow start curving down. Okay, I want to see maybe preferably green go into red. Right now you're in the green on the 1 hour time frame here. All right, let's move on down to the 15-minute time frame, and that's as small as I'll go here because I want to make sure I can catch up on the chat here, see what you guys are saying. On the 15-minute time frame, obviously the price has been going up. RSI looks like you're kind of getting a little bearish divergence here. I don't need to draw that out. here on the 15-minute time frame, on the MACD for super, your selling pressure is starting to die off. So that's a little bit of a problem here. You want to see selling pressure increase. Now the blue did dip into the orange, right? You kind of want to see that on the 1 hour time frame as well. But here on the 15-minute time frame, it did dip below, signaling that you could have entered a short around 11 a.m. Let's see, around like 11 a.m. Let's see. Yeah, you would have been shorting at like 27 cents roughly. Yeah, about 27 cents. But you want to see some more selling pressure. You want to continue dragging the price down, the low prices here. And now, right, you had the 15-minute time frame. You were getting pink candles. Now you're starting to see a red candle again here on the 15-minute time frame. So selling pressure could start increasing, and your short might start playing out here. And then on market cipher B, yeah, you got the red money flow there. So maybe this is what you were looking for on your short. Because now that I'm on the smaller time frame, I'm on the 15-minute time frame. I mean, it looks like you're trying to snipe the top for today, but yeah, it looks like you're finally getting what you need to see here to justify being in the short, where the momentum is going down to the downside, the money flow is going down to the downside. Yeah. Okay. All right. So if you're in it for a day trade, I think it might be all right. But I would still pay attention to these indicators and oscillators to see if it's okay to stay in the short. Because you just don't know. If we get a bounce, like, you know, on the 15-minute time frame, this 21 EMA, we got a bounce here around like 7 a.m. You see we went to higher prices. If the longs try to bounce you again off this 21 EMA, then your short's going to get played out. I mean, you're going to get stopped out. And you said your stop loss is at 28 pennies, so that's not too bad. I think you might be alright. You might be alright in the short, because your stop loss doesn't seem too far. Okay, just know that they could bounce you here, especially if Bitcoin cashes bids and more money starts flowing into the market. Then you might get stopped out, and you might have to look for a short maybe later on tonight instead of right now. All right. Yep, Gamer38 said look at the 1 hour chart. We did. Luca is asking, is Bitcoin going to go down soon? Luca, is Bitcoin going to go down soon? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I think when we hit 93K, it might get rejected off of that level there. We'll see. I think maybe later on tonight, after people are done going crazy, once Wall Street goes away, because right now I think the ETFs are pumping money into Wall Street's pumping money into Bitcoin right now. Once they go home for the day, then I think we might get, you know, Bitcoin coming down to lower prices, maybe. All right, I gotta write some things down here. We have a guy asking about Pendu. Is that Pendu or Pengu? I'm gonna write it down as Pendu because that's what you wrote. Okay. All right, looks like I lost some of my viewers there. I guess I went a little bit too deep on that analysis there on Super, because I lost some of my viewers there. I guess I went a little bit too in depth there. But hey, you know, I appreciate the ones that are sticking around, because you guys probably are day traders yourself, so you kind of understand these indicators and what to look for here. Cameron's in the chat. Good to see you, Cameron. Cameron's one of our traders in the Discord that does pretty well here. I was just talking about you, Cameron, on Discord, because you were posting up some of your gains here. Congratulations to you. Some killer gains where you're making like 1,000% on some of your trades here. So that's really good to see. But I think you also posted one of your losses, so that's good to see too. That, you know, losses do happen, but you keep them small. As long as you're keeping your losses smaller than your gains, you're gonna be all right. So glad to see that you're doing that here on your trades there. So we got a pretty good trader here, Cameron. He's also in the Discord. You can learn some things from him as well. Cameron's asking about Quant. And then yeah, Darko's asking about Pengu. So yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, I was like, Pendu? I know there's a Pengu. Anyways, let's continue on here. And Cameron, is that a request for QNT here? God, I might end up doing more than a 2-hour live stream here. Okay. Try to get to that request as best as I can. I think that might be it. No more requests, guys, because I'm trying to do other things today as well. Jamie asking me, is Bitcoin going to come back down today or keep going up? I think Bitcoin might squeeze out another $1,000. Let's see, where's Bitcoin right now? It's at 92K. Bitcoin might head to 93K before it gets rejected. And basically, if it does, you know, if it gets up to 93K, it's going back to where it was around Friday. You know, it was at 93K. I'm expecting there to be some resistance there because whoever bought on Friday, you know, they might want to get out of their trade. They might have felt that was a bad entry, and they might click the sell button there. But yeah, I think 93K is where Bitcoin could go later on this evening. So I don't think we're done going up yet here on Bitcoin. We gotta punish the short sellers a little bit more. But I am on the chart, so I am trying to figure out if it is gonna go down. I just think it might continue going up in the next hour or two. We gotta look at Monad or DZ here, and then we gotta take a look at Pengu and Quant. So let me go and cross these things off. So yeah, all right. So we gotta look at Monad. Trade Intuition, are you still in the chat? Put a 1 in the chat if you're still in the chat. Trade Intuition. We'll try to give you a shout out later. I just got a little bit busy with the requests here. I thought I was going to do a trading stream where I'm going to try to short Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is just being a little bit too powerful today. And I don't really want to go into a long because I don't know if this might be the top or, you know, maybe Bitcoin does go up a little bit further, but how much further could it go? We're already overbought on a lot of the time frames here, on the smaller time frames. All right, let's look at Monad here. Oh, there you go. Trade Intuition still in the chat. Good to see you. All right, so let me look at Monad, and then I'll give a quick shout out after that. Trade Intuition is just another crypto YouTuber here who goes live, you know, from like 12 to 2 p.m. kind of the same time as I do, but he's been going live on the evening streams as well for like 9 p.m. and that's usually when I'm able to catch his streams because I stream in the afternoon. I mean, if we're both streaming, it's, you know, it's either I get done and I go on his stream or he gets done and he goes on my stream. But anyways, let's look at Monad. Relatively new cryptocurrency, looks like, or at least it's new on Coinbase. Maybe I could find it on another exchange that's had it for a while here. Let's see, Monad on MEXC. All right, yeah. There we go. Let's go into the daily time frame, but it's still relatively new here. What has Monad done? Monad has disappointed investors like a lot of these other altcoins have done in 2025. Monad was trading as high as 17 cents on October 8th. And now you're trading at 3 cents. So on the daily time frame here, I don't really have that many moving averages besides that 21 exponential moving average. This white line is the only data that I got because this thing is relatively brand new. I don't have a 50-day moving average because it hasn't been 50 days. So we can't even get a 50-day moving average showing up here. Okay, but I could probably go into smaller time frames and see what that looks like, and then probably get some moving averages there. On the daily time frame, I think, you know, this 21 EMA is a good guidance. You know, we've been getting rejected off of it. If Monad starts catching some bids here, I would expect initially a rejection at the 21 EMA sitting at 0.037 pennies. I think that's still like a 20% gain from where you are right now, so you can still make some money just trying to climb back up to the 21 EMA. That's about a 25% gain right there, okay? But I wouldn't get too greedy, you know, because I would try to take some profit. If you're spot trading this, take some profit at like the 21 EMA, because it has been acting as resistance. I'm going to assume that it's going to act as resistance until it does something different and maybe acts as support. And for you to act as support, you have to get above the 21 EMA. So, you know, get above the 21 EMA, and we can start making a case to be a little bit more bullish here on Monad. You can see here on November 26th, we got above the 21 EMA, only to then lose it on November 27th. And then here we were flirting with trying to stay above it, and November 8th and November 9th, and then we lost it. So, you know, just don't be surprised if we get up to 21 EMA and we kind of go sideways and then lose it, like we've already done the last couple occasions here. Okay, so that's what I see here with Monad, right? That's your upside for now, until you can show me that you can go to higher prices. Now, if you do go to higher prices, what can I do here on the daily time frame? I would have to probably turn the VRVP indicators, see what is above you here. Now it looks like we have high volume, value area high sitting at about 4.5 pennies roughly. That would be my second take profit target. And if you go to 4.5 pennies, you're looking at a about almost like a 47% gain from where you are right now. So that's not too shabby. But my first take profit target would be that 21 EMA for now. At, you know, you get like a 25% gain on Monad. Okay, that's how I would be trying to play along here. All right, let me give out this shout out to Trade Intuition, guys. If you guys want to check out another crypto YouTuber here, besides myself, then you gotta check out Trade Intuition's channel here. Okay, he goes live around the same time, so you might be able to catch him if I'm not live streaming in the afternoons. You might be able to find him here. But Trade Intuition is about a couple of thousand subscribers. He's been putting out the content, over 1,500 videos here. And he's now telling everybody that his live streams are at 9 p.m. So you could most likely find him at 9 p.m. Eastern time. If not, he does do bonus streams in the afternoon for me, is what I've noticed. But he calls it his morning streams. So he does do bonus streams on top of his normal 9 p.m. stream. So like after you're done watching me, guys, you can watch Trade Intuition later on tonight around 9 p.m. Eastern time. Okay? And just check out his content. Give him a subscribe. Give him a like. I think he's also putting out short videos whenever he can. So if you don't have that much time, you can check out what he has to say here on his YouTube shorts. Oh, man. Been doing a lot of talking here. My throat gets a little bit raspy. That's why I have this. I have water, ice water here. Keeps me going. Alright, so there you go for the shout out to Trade Intuition. Check him out, guys. He also has some good music on his live streams too. Alright, so we looked at Monad. Let's go ahead and take a look at Pengu and Quant. Alright, so Pengu is actually in my watch list. Let's see if I can pull up real quick here. Wow, Pengu is up 25% today. Wow, that's like the best that I've seen out of all these cryptos so far today. And I'm pretty sure there's something that's doing better than Pengu. But out of the more well-known meme coins and cryptos that are out there, that's pretty damn good. Wow, some people made some good money on Pengu. You didn't even have to leverage trade it. This thing is at 0.0122 pennies here. Yeah, I got the VRVP indicator here. Why don't I just leave that on? I'll do some analysis using that indicator here. So with the VRVP indicator here, all right, you got your value area high, which is your white line up top, your value area low, which is a white line below you. And most of the trading action happens in between this value area, between the value area high and the value area low. You are near the bottom of this value area. And this value area, we're pulling data going all the way back to like the middle of September. It's like the last couple of months here. As of now, this is really good to see because you would expect this thing to start catching some bids, but it looks like a good majority of people bought Pango at about a penny, roughly. So there's going to be some good support between the value area low and here. The value area low is sitting at around 0.009 pennies. This thing, if it starts running to the upside, it has a lot of juice to do it. Okay, just from what I'm seeing. However, there could be some resistance here at a penny and a half. There might be some people clicking the sell button there. Then you got about a little bit above a penny and a half, about 0.017 pennies could be another place to look for. And then, of course, you got 2 pennies is a target for Pango. But let me zoom out here and gather some more data here with the VRVP indicator. We're going back to like data going all the way to like April earlier this year, and this is what I'm seeing now with the VRVP indicator here. Point of control, this blue line is now at a penny and a half, so a penny and a half area to look for. That could be your first take profit target on Pango if you're in it for a long or a swing trade. Once you get past the penny and a half, there's a lot of I mean, there's not a lot, but there's a big drop in the volume here. Yeah, a little bit something here at like 0.018 pennies here. But you don't get much resistance until you get to 2 pennies. So yeah, once you get past the penny and a half, 2 pennies is probably your next target for Pango. Okay. Get past that, and then you got a gap in the VRVP, and it looks like 3 pennies is going to be the next target for Pango. But we got to take it one level at a time. Okay. I just gave you the big picture for Pango. It is in a very good area for relatively cheap prices, and the upside is I think penny and a half and then 2 pennies, and then we'll see how after 2 pennies like how it handles itself, trying to get up to like 3 pennies here. Okay, but let me take off the VRVP indicator here and go into the moving averages. All right, so moving averages here at 21 EMA was a problem up until today. Looks like you kind of are getting above the 21 EMA, so that's good to see. I want to see Pango close above the 21 EMA at 0.0116 pennies is the number to look for. So 0.012 pennies, that's nice to see. Let's try to stay at that area for Pango. And if you do, you know, you might go sideways because you already had a pretty good move here. You might go something like this, you know, up, down, up, down, up, down. Use this 21 EMA as support, and then launch up to higher prices where you go up to like a penny and a half, and then maybe even 2 pennies at some point. Okay, but I want to see that for Pango. I want to see you stay above the 21 EMA. Show us that there's some hope here for the meme coin investors that are trying to trade Pango. Let's see. Let's get into Market Cipher B. Market Cipher B, you got a green buy dot. Of course, I mean, you would think there should be a green buy dot on a day that you're up 25%. Money flow was decreasing, but now it looks like money flow is going back into Pango. Okay, and it looks like you could get a flip where you flip from red to green on the money flow. That would be good to see here. I also like the higher low action here on the momentum in that green buy dot. So maybe Pango might have bottomed out. That might have been the worst of it was yesterday. MACD, anything special here on the MACD? No, you're just seeing buying pressure here. You haven't seen much selling pressure since the beginning of November. Even though we have gone down in price, it looks like buyers are stepping in. And of course, you had the blue get above the orange back here on the last week of November here. So that was your kind of like your signal to get in on Pengu. Even though it did go down lower to low prices, this is good to see here on the daily time frame for the MACD. And even if you did get around at this, you know, when you saw that flip on the MACD, you would have been getting in at around, you know, a penny. Or let's see, the highest price was still lower than where you are right now, so that's not too bad. All right, so let's see what it looks like on the 1 hour time frame, maybe. 1 hour time frame. I think, yeah, you are definitely overbought, and RSI is going down. So don't be surprised if you come back to visit the moving averages below you and get some support at about a penny here for Pengu. If you feel like you missed out on the price action here, you might be able to get some cheaper Pengu right where that 200-day moving average is sitting at about 0.0109 pennies here. That's where I'd be looking to try to add to my Pengu if that's what you're trying to do here. Lorraine says, I'm not on TikTok. I am on TikTok. But I have noticed, like, I've been on TikTok and I had like 50 viewers here. And then now I got 8 on TikTok. Is TikTok trying to shadow ban me again? Throttling me down here? That's very interesting. I don't know why that's the case. Sometimes my VPN might be messing things up. Let me see if I can fix my VPN here. That's a shame if that did happen here. Alright, so I just took the VPN off on my phone. Sometimes the VPN can mess things up. If you want to give it another shot, Lorene, try to see, because I still have like 9 people here on TikTok. If you want to go ahead and look at TikTok again. Is that you in TikTok, Lorene? Alright, yeah, so I'm sorry about that. My VPN was messing things up. Yeah, I added VPN on my phone. And I just turned it off. And now I'm able to get people to come into the TikTok live stream. That sucks, yeah. I probably should have checked on that. Like, I saw myself going from like 50 viewers down to like 30, down to like 20 and 10. Now I'm at like 9 right now. And yeah, the VPN was messing things up there. Wow, that sucks. Because we had a really good TikTok stream about an hour ago. We had a good amount of people here, keeping me busy. But hey, it is what it is. You know, that's technology for you. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with technology? I'm glad you let me know, though. But hey, you know, if that happens again, just let me know, like you did here on YouTube. Appreciate that. And you know, next time I see like my viewership drop down like that, I'm gonna try to be a little bit more on top of shutting off my VPN. I use that VPN, you know, because it's always good to have a VPN, right? But sometimes I need it to do some trades here. Cameron's asking about Bitcoin dominance. Well, Cameron, did you want to look at Q&T or did you want to look at Bitcoin dominance? Because I was going to try to end the live stream after looking at Q&T there for you. Oh, you want to look at Bitcoin versus gold too? You want to look at both? Oh my god, you try to keep you busy here, Cameron. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get those likes up here, Cameron. We're at 2,500 likes here on TikTok. Let's see if we can get up to like 3,000 or even 4,000 here. Appreciate you double tapping the screen for the likes here. But yeah, we had a, you know, pretty good stream here on TikTok and YouTube. Oh, David wants to look at Bitcoin dominance too. All right, you know what? We'll look at Bitcoin dominance. Are you guys seeing something to get me excited about the altcoins? Is that why you guys are requesting Bitcoin dominance? Where is Bitcoin now? I'll type it in. Let's see, BTC.D. All right, so for those of you who don't know what Bitcoin dominance is how much money out of crypto is in Bitcoin, okay? And when Bitcoin dominance is high, that usually means a lot more money is going into Bitcoin versus the altcoins. And this is kind of crazy to see. All right, so Bitcoin dominance was falling down. It peaked out here in November 4th, and it also kind of peaked out here, what the hell, around October 10th? Yeah, of course. That was during the whole liquidation event on October 10th. But Bitcoin dominance is climbing up. You're up about 0.43%. It looks like it kind of created a higher low here on November 25th compared to this other low here on September 13th. We saw Bitcoin dominance as low as 57%. And over here on November 25th, Bitcoin dominance is at 58%. So you're making higher lows here. And if this thing keeps creeping up to higher levels here, we could see Bitcoin dominance. I mean, initially, I would expect a rejection at that 100-day moving average at 59.92. We're not too far off from that. Maybe it comes down, makes a higher low, or it could make the same low that it did here on Tuesday, November 25th. But if Bitcoin dominance actually gets above this 2-day moving average, I start to get worried about the altcoins. Like, what does that mean for the altcoins? Well, it could mean one of two things. It could mean that maybe we're not going to get an altcoin season and Bitcoin dominance is increasing and everybody puts their money into Bitcoin and they give up on altcoins altogether because Bitcoin's like the thing that's going to help people make money, which it has been making people money. If Bitcoin dominance climbs up because the price of Bitcoin is going up, then that could be okay for the altcoins, because as long as Bitcoin is going up to higher prices and going to new all-time highs, then I'm okay with Bitcoin dominance going back up to that 200-day moving average. But I'm a little bit worried about that 200-day moving average sitting at 61%. If we get the 61% market cap dominance on Bitcoin, I'm only okay with that if Bitcoin's at new all-time highs. Because if Bitcoin's at new all-time highs, then that probably means the altcoins are going to go to their all-time highs as well. So let's hope that's the case. Lorraine's saying it kind of looks like an upside down cup and handle, so it's gonna fall. Lorraine, you're spamming me here on TikTok. Thank you, Cameron, for liking the live here. But I don't know. Let's see. I'm hoping that, you know, more realistically speaking, that Bitcoin dominance comes up to this 100-day moving average and then gets rejected and comes back down, and then we're gonna have like kind of like an altcoin rally going on in the meantime for like the month of December. But yeah, I mean, what else is there to look at for Bitcoin dominance? It is starting to go back up again. That's what I'm seeing here. And I'm only okay with that as long as the price of Bitcoin is going up. Now, if the price of Bitcoin is going down and Bitcoin dominance is going up, that's a disaster for altcoins. That means money is going into Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is also going down in price. And that probably means the altcoins are going down even further in price. Oh, you're just spamming me here, Lorraine? Okay. So are you saying that this looks like an upside down cup and handle? I'm not sure. I mean, Lauren, you always make some interesting comments about these chart patterns here, but if that's yeah, all right, upside down cup and handle. Okay. It kind of looks like it's creating a cup right now. To me, on the daily time frame, it looks like this could be a cup pattern here. But I don't know. If it was looking like a cup and handle to me, I would actually say that. But to me, I just think this is just normal price action. It looks like Bitcoin dominance is trying to start an uptrend, where it was in a downtrend throughout the summer here, and now it's creating an uptrend going into the fall and winter. That's what I see here with Bitcoin dominance. Yeah, I don't really think that's the cup and handle, Cameron. That's why I'm like kind of like scratching my head here. Lorraine sees some things, but I don't see it. What? Oh wow! Did I just see someone named Meet Damien join my TikTok live stream? Guys, be careful out there. There's some people who are trying to copy me, and there's some, I don't know, I guess some bots or people, scammers, whatever, trying to pretend to be me. Guys, I don't usually message people first unless we've already messaged each other. Like if you message me, then I'll message you back. But I don't normally just message people out of the blue here. So yeah, if you see me try to message you first, and we never messaged before at all, then that probably is a scammer. All right, just be careful of that, guys. I gotta put that out there that, you know, there are people who would pains in the butts, you know, POSs that are trying to do bad things using my name here. Okay, I'll take a look at the Discord later, Lorraine. Thank you. Harvey says Bitcoin needs to break 93K, which it rejected a few days ago. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think that's where Bitcoin's gonna go next, is 93K. Might happen later on tonight. And then what's up? We gotta look at something else here. What we Bitcoin dominance? Cameron, you asked about something else. Oh, Bitcoin to gold, right? You want to look at Bitcoin to gold? BTC to XAU, I believe. Let's see, XAU. All right, Bitcoin to gold here, yeah. Wow. Okay, this is interesting. So this is showing that Bitcoin to gold is at 21.95. We have seen this get higher earlier this year when it was at 35 here in August. So I think this is showing that you need 35 ounces of gold. Yeah, 35 ounces of gold to get to the price of Bitcoin. In this case right now, you need 21 ounces of gold to get to the price of Bitcoin. Does that make sense? Let me see. Let me just do that real quick here. Some calculator math here. Bitcoin at 93K, or we'll just say $92,000. And last time I checked the price of gold, what was it? What was gold at? What is gold at right now? 4,197. So about 4,200 bucks. Yeah, so about 21 ounces of gold, or almost 22 ounces of gold, equals the price of Bitcoin. Okay, and these are that's the lows. That's the lows for the, almost like the lows for the year. And it looks like we could be bottoming out here. Well, we're at the lows for the year. I can say that for the most part. Let's see, about a year ago, in like December. Wait a minute, yeah. Around yeah, about a year ago, like, let's see, November, October of last year is when Bitcoin was kind of like where it was at as far as like compared to the price of gold. And of course, we had a really good December in Bitcoin, and we saw, you know, you needed 41 ounces of gold to equal the price of Bitcoin, and that was pretty much the high water mark for the most part. And all this is showing to me is that gold has been outperforming Bitcoin, but maybe that's about to come to an end here soon. I don't know. Let's see. Let's look at my oscillators here. I want to get into the bigger charts here, but on the MACD, selling pressure is dying down here on Bitcoin. to gold. Could mean that we're about to see higher prices here for Bitcoin. You got a green buy dot that came in today. Momentum is coming up to the upside, and money flow is going in the Bitcoin versus gold. That's interesting to see. I want to go into the weekly chart, see what the weekly chart is showing here. On the market cipher B for Bitcoin to gold, we have come down to like almost oversold territory over here. The oversold bars. This could be signifying that Bitcoin might start going up in value compared to gold. Either gold's going to go down in price or Bitcoin's going to go up in price. But if they're both going up in price, then that probably means Bitcoin's going to go higher and faster. I'm waiting for that green buy dot to show up here on the price of Bitcoin to gold here. That's interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting stuff here. Fascinating. Let's see what it looks like on the monthly time frame here. Alright, so yeah, you do have red here on the monthly time frame for Bitcoin to gold. So, and the momentum is going to the downside. So I don't know. They're still in like, on the monthly time frame, it's like, nothing too special. On the weekly time frame, it's saying that, could be special. And then on the daily time frame, it's like, all right, you should probably be paying attention because there could be something good going on here between Bitcoin and gold. So, yeah. But yeah, if Bitcoin to gold is going to play out to the upside here, there might be a rejection here when the price of gold equals about, 23 ounces of gold equals the price of Bitcoin. There might be a little bit of rejection there off the 21 EMA. Okay, so when we get to 23 ounces of gold equals 1 Bitcoin, then that could be a problem for Bitcoin initially, until it's not. And then if it's not, then we could probably rise up to these other moving averages above you, where you're gonna need like 30 ounces of gold to get to Bitcoin. And let me just try to calculate that. Let's just say the price of gold stays where it's at and Bitcoin appreciates against gold to about like 29 or 30 ounces equals 1 price of gold. So we'll take, $4,200 of $4,200 an ounce of gold times about 30 ounces of gold equals 1 Bitcoin. It shows that, yeah, Bitcoin could go up back to 126K. So if Bitcoin goes up to 126K and gold just stays where it's at right now, then yeah, you'll see the Bitcoin to gold chart go right back up to the 200-day moving average, sitting at about like $30 an ounce. 30 ounces equals one Bitcoin. Okay, 30 ounces of gold equals 1 Bitcoin. I think that's definitely doable and possible here. This is crazy. So somebody named Meet Damien just gave me a gift. So somebody pretending to be me is sending me gifts now. What the hell? Alrighty. Jamie's asking me, does Bitcoin look like it's gonna keep pumping? Let's get back to Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin at 92K. I think we could see 93K later on today. Okay. Let's get into the 15-minute time frame real quick here. And I think this is where I want to end the live stream here. Lorene, I saw that you sent me roses, alright? But then somebody named Meet Damien also sent me roses too. Yeah. Alright, anyways, getting back into the analysis here. So yeah, Bitcoin definitely catches some bids here, probably because of quantitative tightening coming to an end yesterday. And short sellers getting short squeezed right now. Good to see that for the crypto investors that have been in pain for a while now. Okay, maybe the pain is coming to an end, at least for now. But on the 50-minute time frame here, let's see. I was worried about the RSI. It is overbought here. You're at a 77 here on the RSI, and you're now starting to make lower highs than what you did earlier this morning. So I think, you know, we'll see Bitcoin go up another $1,000 to like 93K by, you know, 3 or 4 p.m. Eastern time here. And then once Wall Street is done buying Bitcoin, then I think that's when Bitcoin starts to go down. So I think you got another hour or two to see how much higher Bitcoin can go. And then I think after Wall Street's done buying, I think that's when the party comes to an end today. And you know, you might see Bitcoin at 93K when that happens. And then yeah, then we got. I'll probably look for shorts at that once that happens there. I think Bitcoin might go up another $1,000 here. Yeah. Thank you for the gifts here, Lorene. It says Lorene has lit up the festival gear and Meet Damien's gift gallery. All right, appreciate that, Lorene. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the roses. Thank you, Lorene. One of my biggest supporters here. I appreciate that. All right, thank you, Lorene. And thank you, Trade Intuition, for coming in the chat. He says, great stream. Appreciate hearing those kind words from you. You've been mining fiat. Well, that's interesting. You got like a Tether miner or something? All right. All right, good. All right, guys, that's going to be it for today. Like I said, you know, just finishing thoughts here. I think Bitcoin on its way to 93K. I'd be pleasantly surprised if it hits 96K, but when we do get up to 96K, I would expect, you know, some resistance at 96K, more so than 93K. So, but, you know, very nice reversal here on Bitcoin. And we can now count that as a higher low as of now, where Bitcoin got down to 83K, 83,800 yesterday, only for it to get bullishly engulfed the next day and punish the shorts here. So, yeah, congratulations to the longs in Bitcoin and crypto. I think we're on our way to like 93K and then 96K later on this week. We shall see, but that's why you gotta stay in tune and check out the live streams here. Try to go live between 12 to 2 p.m. Eastern time. So I'll catch you guys same time tomorrow if I can. If not, then I might do a later live stream. All right. But yeah, that's the plan as of now, is the afternoon. I'm your afternoon guy when it comes to cryptocurrencies. And stock market too. I know you guys don't really request too much stocks here, but if you guys got stocks, I do that as well. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, guys, we'll just have to stay in touch on the Discord in the meantime. Take care, and good luck trading and investing in whatever asset you get into. Take care, guys.